Prison Nation. That's the name of a photography exhibition at Wellesley College's Davis Museum. It trains a lens on the imprisoned, offering a counterpoint to the notion of the criminal. Our conceptions of incarceration have long been crafted by the camera, starting in the 19th century when the advent of photography gave rise to the mugshot.
It was taken up by police and local and national state agencies to basically create categories of people who were seen as suspects.
There are some 2 million people imprisoned in the United States today, and they are overwhelmingly people of color. It's why this exhibition at Wellesley College's Davis Museum argues the United States has become a prison nation. Nicole Fleetwood is the curator.
So there's a very long history in photography being used as a tool to oppress marginalized populations. And you also see a very strong, robust counter movement of artists and photographers who are activists, who are using the camera as a weapon against oppression.
As we find on these walls, they are photographers who, with rare access to prisons, focus beyond bars and uniforms to challenge our ideas of who is in prison. In the 1970s and 80s, photographer Jack Luter's booth documented women inside MCI Framingham, a time when they could wear their own street clothes. Amanda Gilvin is the Davis Museum's assistant director.
As he began photographing them and recording their oral histories, he realized how little he knew of them after all, as they told him of their traumatic past. We see women who were insisting on self-creation of their own identity in these photographs, even under such challenging circumstances.
New identities are assumed, and any sense of prison is completely banished in these portraits by Deborah Luster. They're of inmates participating in a passion play.
They gaze back out at us in character, but we are invited to engage with them as peers of a kind and to see them in ways that we are generally prevented from seeing them. They have been removed from civil society.
For the incarcerated who have been released after convictions ranging from drug dealing to gun selling, photographer Joseph Rodriguez explores newly found freedom.
The setting can be ambiguous, but speaks to how the experience of prison impacts people so far beyond the prison walls, the families and other loved ones of people who are incarcerated, but also people after incarceration who need to piece their lives together.
Prisons themselves have been a fascination of photographer Stephen Terlentis. From afar, his landscapes look like things of beauty, natural expanses emitting an enchanting glow. On closer inspection, though, the glow is the light emitted from a so-called Wyoming death house, the state penitentiary.
It's a bit subversive in the sense of how I want to draw people into the conversation. What I try to do is to not describe the prison in the way that people expect to see it. And it's asking the viewer to think about these things that we keep on the edge of our consciousness.
Until they're at the edge of our neighborhoods.
So I'm really interested in that idea of two worlds of time within a block of each other. That somebody can live in their home and not necessarily even, they can just kind of block out what's down the block. And that the people on that are incarcerated then also are sort of seeing daily life kind of pass by through the fence.
Passing glimpses inside prison are what partly spurred Nicole Fleetwood's drive to counter mass incarceration with projects like Prison Nation. For years, she made annual visits to 2 incarcerated cousins.
I would sit across from them in the prison visiting room, and at the end of these visits, we would always take photographs. Most prisons have a makeshift photo studio where visitors can take pictures with their incarcerated loved ones.
How significant are the backdrops that we see in those pictures?
Yeah. There's often quite elaborate backdrops, and these backdrops are usually of a kind of naturescape that are from, influenced by landscape painting and the like. They're really meant to kind of suggest an unbounded space, a space that is the opposite of what a prison cell is.
And they reveal not just what life beyond bars might be, they also offer a glimpse into the inner life of people still behind bars. Because as Fleetwood points out, the backdrops are often painted by incarcerated people.